Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. Just click on the link and wait to be allowed to enter the room. Our first participant tonight is Al Sosim from Malaysia. Hi, Al. Al Sosim from Malaysia. You're the first one. Can you turn on your microphone?
Evening time, Ajahn. I'm just listening and paying respect to Ajahn.
Okay, go to Professor Ken from Switzerland. Hi, Professor.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. That's all you have to know really about life. Life is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So don't expect much from life. Don't be attached to life because it doesn't belong to you. You only have it for temporarily period. And one day it's gonna be gone.
Thank you, Ajahn. I'd like to ask one question.
Sure, go ahead.
Would it be considered appropriate to use the 8 precepts as a way of kind of punishing the kilesas? For example, if I find I've been eating or sleeping too much, and I say, okay, tomorrow I'm keeping 8 precepts to punish you, is that considered an appropriate way of using the 8?
No, that's a good reason for keeping the 8 precept. Normally you wouldn't want to keep the 8 precept. So you might have to find a reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So good. This way will tame your defilement. Every time it does something bad, being naughty, then you have to do a little bit of a, correction.
Exactly. Mm. Okay, I just wanted to check that was okay. I wasn't kidding
That's
myself.
okay. And any reason for you to do more practice is okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good. That's very helpful, Ajahn.
Not punishing by doing less practice. Okay. Do more practice.
No, exactly. Yeah. I find
Okay.
I have to punish myself or punish my kilesas frequently to get going.
Yeah. The kilesa doesn't like, the precept doesn't like meditation. The kilesa like to go on a holiday, want to travel, want to indulge in sensual pleasures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you have to tame it by using the Buddha's teaching, the path to enlightenment.
Okay.
Okay, that's clear.
Okay, that's very clear. Thank you, Ajahn, for confirming. Thank you.
Next, Rohini from the UK.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yeah. I have no questions. I just want to listen and pay my respect.
Do you see anicca, dukkha, anatta all the time?
Yes.
Or sometime?
I think most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
No
I feel
self.
that way.
No self.
Yeah.
Everything are just natural phenomena.
Yeah.
That keep changing, keep moving. You just have to flow along with it.
Yeah, I keep practicing daily, and in some sitting I don't feel my body, but I still get up after about an hour. I think my kilesas are still strong.
Yes. Try to just be an observer. Try to be less of an actor or reactor. Just only do what you need to do, but the rest just observe and let it be.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay, you need mindfulness, strong mindfulness to be able to just to observe
Yeah.
with equanimity.
Yes, I mainly focus on my thoughts and try to be mindful every passing minute.
Yes, and meditate as much as possible to get into the fourth jhana.
Yes, I do my very best. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Anura and Ramya. Where are you now? Are you still in Thailand?
Hi, Ajahn. Can you hear us?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, we are in Bangkok, Ajahn. So I was very happy to see you on Sunday. So and it was and also we met Jordan. It's
You see him? Did you go
yeah,
up to on the mountain?
yeah, no, because he was walking out from the Dhanasa, and then we were just outside looking around, and then we just accidentally met him. It was so good to see him.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so inspirational to see. He was on the Zoom meeting, and now he's live monk, practicing monk. So happy to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He planned to go to see the autopsy tomorrow. There's going to be a trip to the hospital to see an autopsy of a human body.
Okay, it's only for the monks, I suppose.
Well, anybody who's interested, practitioner.
Right. Yeah.
But just a small group only. They do it once a year. They go to the hospital and watch the autopsy.
Yeah. And we went to the Wat Yan, the Wax Museum. That's very interesting and inspiration. We so many enlightened monks in Thailand. We have heard about those monks, but we never had a good description in English. So it's always Thai. So that was a very good place to see, Wax Museum. Yeah. And Tanaja, can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. That Sunday you were Dhamma talk in Thai. So we asked the group leader just to translate to us. She gave a 2 minutes translation, and then you were describing about suffering, following the Eightfold Path, and the suffering is not really suffer. It's not real or something like that. So could you please could you please provide that explanation? So we didn't really get that translation.
What do you mean by the path and suffering not real? What do you mean by that?
So that you were Dhamma talk on Sunday in Thai.
Maybe just a mistranslation.
Yeah.
I don't think I said anything about suffering not being real. It's real. It's one of the truth. One of the Four Noble Truths. Yeah. It's the truth of suffering. See.
Yeah. Is it rise and fall, or is it the?
Well, it is caused by our cravings. See. Whenever we have cravings, then this suffering will arise. Stress and anxiety and worry will arise. And the way to stop this stress, anxiety is to use wisdom and samadhi or jhana to teach the mind that what you worry about is something you cannot do anything about, like aging, sickness, and death. And you have to use wisdom to see that this is in fact will happen to everybody, body, aging, sickness, and death. No one could prevent or stop it. So just to have the desire or craving not to get old, get sick, or die is illusional and also causing stress and anxiety. So if you don't want to have any stress or anxiety, you just have to accept the truth of the body, that it's going to have to get old, get sick, and die. If you accept, then you can stop your cravings for the body not to get old, get sick, or die. And when you stop the craving, then you stop the suffering. You have the nirodha, the third truth will become apparent, become obvious. The cessation of suffering due to the work of wisdom and samadhi that stop the cravings, the second truth. That caused the first truth, which is the truth of suffering.
Mhm.
So it all comes down to the fourth truth, to be the one who to do the work. Without the fourth truth, you will not be able to stop your suffering, your cravings. And the fourth truth is the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yeah.
The practice of morality, keeping at least the 8 precepts, and spend your time as much as possible for mindfulness practice and meditation. And then after you have your ability to enter into samadhi or jhana, then when you come out of jhana, you then teach the mind to accept the truth of the body. That is anicca, impermanent, anatta, no self in the body. It's just a composition made from the 4 elements. And you're not the body. You're the one who study or investigate the nature of the body is not the body. You are the mind. You're a knowing element, which become connected and attached to this body due to your cravings and delusion. So this is what you have to do. You have to develop the wisdom to see that the body is just a composition of the 4 elements, that it is temporarily. It rises and one day will get old, get sick, and die. And no one or anybody can stop this process. It's like the weather. You can't stop the rain, the clouds from forming in the sky, and then you cannot prevent the clouds from falling down as rain or snow. It's just a natural process due to different conditions that causing these things to appear and to disappear. So look at the body like you look at the weather. And you already heard the prediction of the body, what's going to be like. Like the forecast of the body. The body will get old, get sick, and die. So prepare for like when you're told that you're going to have storm coming. If you're living in a storm area, then you should move, go away somewhere else. So since you cannot move away from the body, you have to build protection for the mind. And the best protection for the mind is to keep the mind calm by the practice of mindfulness and meditation. If your mind can remain calm, then whatever happens to the body will not affect the mind. So we need to practice meditation and mindfulness and wisdom to see the 3 characteristics of existence of the body. Suffering is caused by our attachment and our cravings for the body, not to get old, not to get sick or die, which is contradictory to the truth. The truth, the nature of the body is impermanent. And our delusion is, we think that the body is us, so we cling to it. See? But the truth is we're just a user of the body, not the body itself. The user doesn't get old, get sick, or die with the body. So you teach the user to let go, leave the body alone, and keep the user calm and peaceful. Then the user will be protected from suffering. Okay?
Okay, yeah, understood. Yeah.
Not just the body, everything that we come into contact with or involved with, they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. Your body, my body, your possession, my possession. Everything on this earth is just anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's why I mentioned earlier in the start of the talk that life is anicca dukkha anatta.
We have, yeah.
Yeah. So just don't have this delusion to think that life is real, life is, permanent. Everything is just temporary. Look at our predecessors. Where are they now? They're all gone, right? Our grandparents, our great-grandparents who live on this earth before us and who worries and have same worry and anxiety and stress like us. They're all gone. Or maybe they come back maybe we came back as them, without knowing it. Because we keep returning to the earth all the time, to the world. Maybe not the same planet, but a different planet. Because this planet that we live on, one day will also have to come to an end. Once the sun no longer can function, once there's no longer heat from the sun, then all the planets will then stop. Our life on every planet cannot continue to exist. But there are other solar systems that the mind can go and have rebirth. So Buddhism answered the question: is there any life in other planets? Yes, there is. There's just not one life only on this planet only. In the entire universe, is that possible? That doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
But having birth is problematic because once you have birth, then you have to have aging, sickness, and death with it. So we have to stop rebirth, if we don't want to have to face this process of getting old, getting sick, and die.
Yeah, it's in the contract in fine print, I suppose.
Okay, is that clear now?
Yeah, that's clear. Thank you, Thangajan. Thank you.
Okay. When are you returning back home?
We are leaving to India day after tomorrow. Ajahn.
I see.
So,
Where have you
going
been in
back-
Thailand? Where did you go
yeah.
in Thailand?
So we are leaving Thailand day after tomorrow to India, and then we are returning to New Zealand on 23rd, just before Christmas.
I see.
Yeah.
Where did you go in Thailand this last week or so?
We arrived here Saturday afternoon, and Sunday we went to Wat Yannasangwararam, and yesterday we went to Ayutthaya just to see the old ruins in up north, the Siam Kingdom. And today we went to Wat Bowan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a long journey, but it's worthwhile. We wanted to go there, and we spent the time pretty much there today, and came back this afternoon. Yeah.
So you only spent about less than a week in Thailand this time?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought you might be visiting other monasteries.
No, Ajahn. Tomorrow we are visiting. So all the group will be meeting here tomorrow, and then we'll be going to another bhikkhuni or nuns hermitage. I'm not sure where the place is. I think it's west of Bangkok, somewhere further. Just a few hours away from here, and then come back. And then day after tomorrow we are leaving.
Then you go to India for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yeah?
About 2 weeks. And then we go to Nepal, Lumbini as well. So just to be.
You're visiting all the 4 sites, the holy sites?
Yes, and also we are planning to travel along what Buddha has traveled.
From birth to death, from birth to death.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Tracing the path.
Yes.
For some people, it can be inspiring. People who didn't believe in the Buddha, after they took the trip, they became inspired and have faith in the Buddha. They didn't realize that the Buddha was real. They thought maybe it's just a myth.
Yeah. I think there's no doubt. So I think one day we want to come here, and then I think Thailand is a very good place for practice. So but maybe we want to stay in Wat Yan sometime. So later, yeah. If we live that's long.
There are many good monasteries besides Wat Yan. So unfortunately, Wat Yan doesn't have any long-term accommodation for people.
Yes.
Just a short term.
I think we last time we stayed in Ajahn monastery, so that's we can stay there too. So
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope your dream come true eventually.
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Your Dhamma is so inspiring. I don't have words to thank you, Ajahn. So thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. You should thank the Buddha.
Yeah. So
Okay. I'm just his
Thank you.
messenger. I'm just his messenger.
a good message. Yeah.
Okay, next,
Thank
go
you.
to Nita and Saket. Where is Nita? Is she around?
Hello, Ajahn. Yes, Nita is here. She's a little unwell.
I see.
So, but I'll ask her, do you have any questions? She doesn't have any questions.
Okay.
But Ajahn, I do have one. I'm curious that when we are unwell, what is a good way to practice Dhamma?
Good way is to keep the mind calm. Don't react to the illness. Just accept the illness. That it's like you're accepting a snowstorm or something. You cannot do anything that once there's a storm, to stay put, stay in the house, take a rest, and wait for it to heal, to get better. Be patient. Generally, people used to move around a lot, so when they're stopped by their illness, they feel frustrated. They feel, helpless. They want to keep doing something, continue doing things that they used to do, but they cannot do it. So you have to practice a lot mindfulness and meditation, just to keep the mind calm. Restrain your craving, your desire to do things like you used to do normally. Then you won't feel any stress or anxiety. Your mind can be happy while you're still sick. Actually, you might find that this is a good excuse not to do anything. Because once you're sick, you can tell people, I cannot do this or that. And people will have to accept that, right? So you can look at in the positive side of getting sick. The silver lining of getting sick is that you don't have to do anything.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right, good. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Suchart and Ajahn, just listening, paying my respect. There's no question tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Mike Sheffield. Hi, Mike.
Good evening, Ajahn. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. And you? It's cold?
I'm good. Yeah, it is cold in New York City. I'm happy to report I'm going to do a little retreat at Wat Metta in February in California with Thanissaro Bhikkhu. So I'm excited about that to advance my practice a bit. And I guess my question today is kind of about the community that you keep as a practicing Buddhist. That sometimes friends and family can be less than supportive of your practice. And so, I'm sure everyone who is not surrounded by, a Sangha all the time goes through something similar to that. If you have any advice or if there's any teachings that relate to that, or if there's any related teachings of different qualities like equanimity or emptiness to conjure up when trying to deal with any resistance to your practice.
Well, first of all, you have to accept the fact that we might see things differently. So once we accept this, then we don't have to try to convince other people to see things the same way we do. So this will will reduce the stress on us to try to convince people what we do. Let them see what they want to see, and we see what we want to see. We can still be friends, we can still, exist together, but we just don't do things like we like together anymore. They like to go out to a party, you want to stay home and meditate. So it's your choice. So there's no need to try to convince people or convert people to your path. Just do your own thing and let people be. Then there's no need to fight. There's no need to convince. There's no need to anything. You don't need to do anything with other people. You just have to accept them that they are apples while you are oranges. You cannot change apple to become oranges. Or oranges become apple either. That's all. Just acceptance of the truth. We are different, and we can still be friends. The Buddha said we can show loving kindness to everybody, regardless of their like or dislike or their attitude or anything. We can live together peacefully with loving kindness by accepting each other's characteristics or personality. But we don't have to do things together. If we find out it's contradictory to our path, then we don't have to do it. If people like to drink and we keep the 5 precepts, then we don't drink. That's all. We can have orange juice instead of beer or something, Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Anything else?
That's it for today. Thank you.
Okay. Next call from California.
Hi, Ajahn. Thank you for your advice last week on mindfulness. I'm continuing to practice and have no questions this week.
Okay, good. Next, Marco of the Netherlands. I saw your wife a couple of days ago. She came and gave some
Hi, Ajahn.
food.
Yes, she did. She did. And I saw the pictures and I got emotional, really liked it. And at the same time, I felt jealousy. Like, okay, she gets to go and I didn't get to go yet. But I'm happy that she was there. I'm very happy that she was able to pay her respects to you. And I was happy to see the photographs as well. I actually felt really excited to see, and it's good that she was able to go. I'm really happy for that. So, and I'm Wat Sadhu for her. I would like to report my progress since my wife's gone, and it's been difficult, more on the parenting side. Let's just say that the challenges are 100% instead of 50%, where normally you have 2 parents to take care of the kid. There's now just the one. And on the words that were said earlier, I kind of they kind of touched me, where you were saying it's like we're seeing things in a different way. And what I'm noticing is that it feels like the world's going in a different direction than how we are trying to raise our son, and it feels difficult. But at the same time, I know it's the right way, and I know it's the path that Buddha would also followed on keeping the precepts, and that's important. And I know it's difficult sometimes with my son. I'm realizing that the only attachments which are really still very tough for me are my wife and my son, because I really feel more detached from everything else around me. And I would like to ask you some guidance on. Funny enough, on Saturday evening, I tried to meditate, and there was a storm outside, and I heard the sound. I actually got anxious and a bit afraid. And normally my wife is in the house. I was a bit surprised by that. And then I was thinking, okay, I can use this to actually use that fear in my meditation. Could it be that that's also fear of death? Or what would you recommend for me to do to explore that fear?
It's a form of suffering. Fear is a form of suffering, and it's caused by your cravings. And your craving is the desire to live. So
So the
some-
desire to live is holding on, and that's why
That's
the fear
right.
happens.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you have to use the truth to teach your mind that you cannot have this life forever. One day you're gonna have to give up. Maybe it's gonna be today, who knows? So accept that. Once you accept that death can be imminent and you're ready to go, then your fear will disappear. It's a good it's a good thing for you to have this situation, so you can apply the Four Noble Truths, the teaching, and then you might be able to let go of your attachment to the body, and then you will have no fear from that point onward to the time when you face the real death.
Yeah, could it be that what I think is interesting is that I've never had that feeling before like this, and I feel like I said, my conclusion, because I overanalyze obviously, but it's because my wife is not around and the house is quiet, my son is asleep upstairs. It's like, okay, that's an interesting feeling. I haven't had that before. But is that also because of the mindfulness practice that this comes up, or does this mean that the mind was kind of calm and then suffering because of that fear, and that because normally I would not notice it because I would be too preoccupied with other things?
Because you have problems. The problem is causing you to have suffering in your mind. So now you have to deal with this problem. If you can apply the teaching of the Buddha, you can then effectively or permanently remove this problem from your mind forever. Without the problem, you cannot do this thing. It's like right now we're sitting in a safe environment. We can talk about death, and it doesn't affect the mind as much as like when you're in the fearful environment. So you need the real thing to get the real wisdom to come out and deal with the situation. Right now, the wisdom we're talking about is just not the practical wisdom. It's just the theoretical wisdom we are using right now.
Yeah, it's the theory. You didn't get the practical exam yet. It's indeed different, and as much as you read, it's not the same. That's
right,
true.
until you face the real thing, the real suffering.
Yeah, absolutely.
The real fear. And then if you have the mindfulness and the wisdom to tell you the mind that you have to give up your attachment, you have to let go, because this is gonna happen. Maybe now is the time for it to go. If you want to have peace of mind and no fear, then you just have to accept the truth, accept that death is imminent, and let it be should it happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. I'm realizing that indeed everything feels like suffering today as well, trying to be on time for the session, to be on time home. It's like the mind is just too worried about too many things. But I'm happy that now that my wife's not here, I'm at least able to do good meditation because I'm keeping the 8 precepts and it's going really well. It also keeps me focused. But the difficult bit is also I'm realizing that making sure that my son has supper in the evening, that's good to actually deal with the fact that you're looking at food, you're not eating it. Good luck with that. But it's good. It's helping, and I feel my meditation is getting a little bit better. And I'm also trying to see the anicca in the meditation, because on Saturday morning, for some reason, I was not able to actually get true calmness, where during the week I kind of have I don't like to use the word excuse, but it's like, okay, I have to go to work, so that's why I'm not calm. And now it was Saturday morning, so I didn't have to go to work. So why is the mind not calm? So I had to explore. It's like, no, just go back to the breathing. Go back to the breathing. It's fine. Bhutto. And then you do feel it, but it was different. I didn't get that deep. And it's also because I think there's too much craving to have the calmness, and then that becomes suffering as well, right?
That's right.
So yeah, so it's trying to quiet the storm. I think I'm on the right track. Like I said last week, I feel more confident in my practice, and I feel that I think we're gonna go somewhere. That's good.
If you feel you're not getting anywhere, it's usually because you're not mindful. So come back to mindfulness, all that. Come back to Bhutto, and restart the mind.
And accept, basically, right? So just accept that it's not progressing. I
yeah,
think
not
that
that,
was
and that is a consequence of you not being mindful.
yeah, that's my own mistake. It's
Yeah.
me holding myself back.
Mhm.
Exactly. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Is that all?
No, just one funny remark. So on Sunday I went to do the shopping, and then I chose I don't like busy places, and I chose the wrong moment to go do the shopping. It was so busy, and I had this like view of people's like, oh, it's kind of interesting the difficulties that people go through to actually buy their new excrement, because that's all it is. It's kind of funny to see that it's like so busy and everybody is doing their best because the holiday season is coming, and I'm like, yeah, but basically you're looking at stage one of what is in the end going to end up in the toilet bowl, right? So that actually kind of was funny. It helped me to be less tense.
Yeah. Less craving also for food.
Yeah, also exactly. Exactly.
Just eat to survive. Don't eat to it for enjoyment. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Tanajan.
Eat to live, not live to eat.
Yeah, my wife actually taught me a little like a chant before I eat my food, that I don't associate with my food. I don't identify with my food. I don't identify with the smell, the taste, and that I don't eat to get fat or don't eat to get beautiful, but just eat to live another day and do good merit. And that helps because it makes you pay attention to what you're eating, and then
Yes.
actually being the mindful on the food, it becomes less
Yes.
appealing.
The Buddha teach all practitioners before eating that they should reflect on the reason for eating, not for
Yeah.
beautification, not for enjoyment, but for the suppression or elimination of hunger and maintain life so that we can continue on with our practice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
good.
Tanajan.
You're welcome. Next step, you're free from your son. They both went to school.
Nope, they're sleeping.
Still sleeping.
They're sleeping. I'll wake them up in a little bit.
I see. Anything you like to say or ask?
Yeah. My husband is out of town, and it came up kind of suddenly, and I'm dealing with it very well. I feel like I have more equanimity, which feels good. It's just kind of an awareness that I don't have control, and that's kind of what I've been
That's right. Anything
sitting
can
with.
happen.
There's no control. That's kind of
Anything
been
can
my
happen
mantra.
anytime. Yes, anything can happen anytime. So don't expect things to be the same all the time.
Yeah, that's hard. It's very hard.
Well, you're not
I
used to
can,
that, so it's hard because you're not used to things like that. But once you start to reprogram your mind to think like that, then you'll find it easy.
yeah. So that's kind of been my focus, is discomfort and being okay with discomfort and sitting with discomfort and notice when it comes up and just trying to be easier. You know. That's all.
Okay. If you find discomfort, then just recite the mantra, meditate for a few minutes. This might help calm your mind.
That's what helps. Budho really helps.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
notice that I feel discomfort and I start just calming myself, it really, it helps. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome. Next, Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. Ajahn, good night, Ajahn. Ajahn, now I become very happy by reading or listening to the Dhamma talk. I love watching Ajahn question and answer in YouTube. The question and answer in Mountain also this kind of Zoom, and as well as reading the text of question and answer of Ajahn in the Facebook. It just that simple to become very happy. Before, my best happiness is just when I'm doing sitting meditation and get calm. But now I very, very enjoy listening and also reading the Dhamma, and especially of Ajahn, because when I read or I watch the other, I think I just want to focus for one one way like that. And then if I wish I could be like Ajahn to be able to answer all of the question of the problems in the world that the practitioner asked to Ajahn, is this craving for being or not? Is this kilesa?
Well, it depends on whether you suffer from this or not. If you don't suffer, then it is not defilement. Depends
Yes, I'm not.
okay,
I'm not suffering.
if you don't suffer, then it's not defilement.
Yeah, because I think, wow, why, I just wonder why Ajahn can answer all of the problems, because Ajahn also said that in Kalama Sutta that we have to prove by ourselves about the theory. Since my background, I don't learn many theory, so I just love meditation only. I follow the Buddhism, especially Theravada, because I love meditation. So that's why I meet Ajahn, and then I feel more convenient if I watch the question and answer, because it's all about the problem, and I can prove it by myself. So I just wow, if I can have just a little wisdom of Ajahn, that Ajahn have that knowledge, so I can help many people. I can make, because there is no problem. Sometimes life is not as good as the theory, but if anytime I watch the way Ajahn answer all of the problem, I feel happy and I don't have any problems. More happy, just like that, Ajahn.
Yes, that's part of the benefit from listening to Dhamma talks. You can get rid of your problem by just listening to Dhamma talks. So keep listening Dhamma talks, whether it's discussion or whether it's just sermon or teaching. Give you more wisdom, give you more information, so that you know how to deal with the different problem that might arise later on.
Yeah, and actually all the question here actually already asked in the past when in the mountain. So it's good for me to repeat and repeat, because yeah, it gives me more.
The more you repeat,
understanding.
the more understanding you get, the better understanding you have.
Yeah, that's right. And then if Ajahn said that tomorrow a group of monks will go to the hospital for the autopsy.
Yes.
If I were in Wat Yan, could I watch also or not?
If you what?
If I were in Wat Yan tomorrow, could I join to see the autopsy or not?
Well, it depends on the organizer, whether they have enough room to accommodate everybody or not. I think there only is a small group of people, but if there's room, I think that you're welcome to join. But this only happens once a year. One monk organized this thing, and then we have lay people who practice on the mountain, and monks who never been to such an autopsy before like to go. But those who have already been there, sometimes they just don't feel the need to go. Yes, if you're in Wat Yan, if you know that there's a trip like this, and if you contact the organizer, if they have room, I think you'll be welcome to join. Or maybe if they don't have enough room for transport, you might have to provide your own transport to join, to go with them.
I think by seeing the autopsy, if give me more to
more
support
real,
me,
more real. You see
more
the real, yeah.
the 32 parts of the body.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know I want to contemplate the 32 part of the body.
Yes,
That's
you also see death. You know, death is real. You know, right now when we're talking about it's not real. It's not as impact. Doesn't have the strong impact like seeing the real thing.
yeah. Okay, Ajahn. Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you to the Buddha for the
Okay,
teaching also.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm here to pay my respects. I don't have any questions tonight. Just happy to be listening in.
Okay, go to Marsha from Ohio. Ohio.
Okay. Hello. Yeah, I don't think I have any questions today. I sort of lost my momentum. But at the same time, everything is, the mind doesn't seem to be thinking as much as I go throughout the day. So everything is just easier. It's like whatever comes, comes, and
Whatever goes,
I'm not,
goes.
oh, whatever goes, goes. I
Yeah,
guess I'm getting older, and I
things come and
don't
go.
things come and go, and it's like I'm just here in the house with my daughter, with the grandkids, and it doesn't seem very spiritual, but it's emptier, and so I'm just observing my life as I'm living it, and it seems very good.
Yes, that's the best position for us is to just be an observer.
Yeah.
Don't react or act.
Yeah. I haven't been doing so much meditation, but there's still a real sense of freedom.
Sometimes you can use wisdom to replace the meditation. Wisdom can also calm your mind.
Mhm. I
When you
think that
see
might be
things
happening.
and then you let go of things, then your mind can become calm.
That's very good. I always wondered sometimes how I could have a sense of freedom, and the formal practice is not, I'm not working so hard on the meditation, but I'm practicing it just all the time.
Yes, you can either use wisdom or you use mindfulness to tame the mind with. If you cannot use wisdom, then you have to rely on mindfulness, such as a mantra to calm the mind down. If you can apply wisdom to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you let go. When you let go, then your mind can become calm from letting go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Stay calm and observing. That's all we have to do.
That's amazing. It really is amazing. It's like I don't have to be this person, this perfect person, or
You
the
don't have to be
perfect
anything.
meditator.
You're just an observer, really.
Yeah, yes.
But
Okay.
most people like to be actor in the stage on the stage, rather than be an observer. They go up and on the stage and start to act and do all sort of things.
Well, I find when I do that, I get into so much trouble. So
That's right. But people think they're happier that way because they cannot just being still. But once you practice meditation and you can calm and still the mind, then you find being still is better than being active,
Yes, I think so.
And you don't get anything from your action anyway. Everything is temporary. What you earn, what you have today, one day you have to give it all up anyway. So why bother?
Yeah, exactly. My sister died some years ago, and at the time I told another monk, well, my sister died and I, had all this stuff to do relating to it, and he sent a little message and said, well, sooner or later you will go the same way. But what I noticed when she died, and I had to go through all of her belongings and sort everything, get rid of everything, sell the house, it was like her whole life stopped at that moment. Everything she had lost its value. Everything she treasured and hung on to, it all went like to the dumpster, and it felt like disrespectful, but
It's the
she
truth.
was gone. Everything, all that connection to all the stuff of her life, it was a pretty insightful experience for me to go through that, because, you know, somebody who I thought I loved and was close to, all of a sudden she was just gone. The whole life was gone. The connection was gone. And
it's going to happen to everybody, not just to
right,
her
right,
alone,
and it,
to you, me, and everybody.
right, that's exactly right.
We're just a temporary visitor to this earth, this world. And one day we'll have to leave it, leave everything that we have accumulated.
Right. So, you know, right now I just need to let things go.
That's
As
right.
everything happens, just keep letting it go. Stop
Yes.
getting involved in
Yes, even your most
anything.
precious possession, which is your body, you also have to let it go.
Yeah. 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 So
Okay,
true.
so prepare for the eventuality.
I'm trying. I think I'm much more ready than I was, and I'm going to be more ready. I'm getting there.
And you have the tool to do it now. So
I
just
do.
take mindfulness and wisdom. That's all you need.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Apalachita from Dubai. You still teaching yoga every day?
Yes, I'm still teaching yoga every day.
How many students usually you have?
Well, it depends. A small class can vary from 8 to sometimes 3, and I have quite a few like one-on-one students who just want to practice. So yes.
Okay. You enjoy your teaching?
I do enjoy my teaching. It feels like it's a good way to live as a livelihood, and it supports others, so I feel it makes sense.
You also practice it when you teach at the same time, right?
Yes, very much,
Okay,
very
good.
much, very much.
So
Yes. Yes, all good, and it was very moving to hear Marsha's sharing, and so sometimes I think like I could stay wherever I am, and I could practice, but sometimes I think, do I also need to take a little bit of a step to make my life simpler or move away and practice on my own? So how would I be able to decide that?
When the time comes, you know what to do.
Okay, that's very okay.
Yeah, you know it. When you feel that everything you have become a burden to you, then you want to get rid of it. But it's still not a burden. It's still a benefit. Then you want to keep it. See? So it depends on how advanced are you on your practice. The more you are advanced in your practice, the less you depend on other things. So if you're not advanced enough, far enough, then you might still have to depend on other things to keep you happy, to maintain your comfort zone. See?
Yes.
But as you advance in your practice, you'll find that these things are less important, are less beneficial, and instead they can become a burden because you have to look after them, pay for them, maintain them. So it depends on your practice, really. It will tell you what to do next.
Okay.
The more you can meditate, the more calmer your mind becomes, then the less you want to have anything, because you feel that they're becoming burdensome to you rather than beneficial. So this thing you know it for yourself. So keep on practicing mindfulness and meditation, and listen to Dhamma talk like this.
Yes. I love listening to Dhamma talks. Yes. Thank
Okay?
you. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Next, Alex from Alex Turpin. Where are you from? Is this the first time you're in?
Hello, Tanajan. I'm from near Manchester in the United Kingdom.
Yes. Okay. Welcome to our meeting.
Thank you. I have a few questions, but one, the main question and comment I have is, I've been taking the Buddha's teachings very seriously particularly over the past 6 months, and I'm willing to do anything I can to attain Nibbana in this life, and I'm willing to make any and all sacrifices necessary. It's just, I'm in a difficult situation because I have a lot of student debt, which it may take a very long time to pay off. And that will mean that I would have to earn quite a lot of money in order to pay it off, because I'd like to become a monk. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. And I'm wondering what I should do in the meantime to resist the harmful influences and effects of my environment, because my environment is very tempting and distracting, and it significantly reduces my ability to meditate. What I really want is to become a monk, but I can't do that right now. So I'm wondering what I can do. I'm willing to do anything, and I'm willing to try as hard as possible. Thank you.
Can you move to a more friendly environment? If you find that where you are is not good for your practice, can you find a new place where it's more, beneficial for your practice?
I could, and I would like to move to Thailand, but the wages there are lower than in the UK, and I don't believe I would be able to earn enough wages to pay off my student debt in a reasonable amount of time. So I feel like I have to live in or near a city in order to earn enough money. But obviously that comes at the expense of my Dharma practice.
You cannot find any place nearby where you can be alone and not be disturbed by other people action.
I could. I could. I'll have to have a think about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask is, I've been listening to a number of your talks, and I've been practicing Buddho, but I'm unsure about when that's appropriate. When, for example, I'm walking, because normally if I'm doing walking meditation, I'll do left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, and I'll notice that. But if I'm doing Buddho, they seem to be in conflict with each other. And
you can replace one or the other. You can use one or the other.
Okay, so I don't need to, am I right in thinking that if I'm focusing Buddho, I don't need to worry about for noticing my footsteps? Is that correct?
That's right. You don't need to worry about the steps, but you have to worry about what on the path that you walk, that you have to look at the path also, see that there's nothing that you will harm or will hurt, or misstep and fall or something like that. You also have to be mindful of your walking, not just entirely on Buddha alone. Only if there's any movement of your body, you have to be mindful of your body movement.
I see. But Buddha would be the primary focus, is that correct?
I think the action will be the primary focus, and Buddha will be your secondary.
I see.
Whatever you do, you have to focus on what you do first. Like if you're eating, you have to focus on your eating. And then if your mind doesn't want to stay with the eating and it wants to go think about other things at the same time, then you can use Buddha to bring it back to the eating.
I see. But while I'm actually eating and lifting the fork or spoon into my mouth, I don't need to think Buddha as long as I'm focusing on.
That's right. That's
I
right.
can switch between them as necessary.
That's right.
I see. I see. Thank you. Thank you. Another thing I wanted to ask, please, is I found that I've been taking very seriously the rule not to speak frivolously, but I don't know what I don't know what to say other than, I mean, here I don't feel like I'm speaking frivolously, but in day-to-day life, even in my job, I find it very, very hard to maintain silence. Do you have any advice about that, please?
Well, try to speak only when you have to speak. See? When you don't have to speak, just keep silent. By keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, whenever you feel like you want to say some frivolous thing, then just say Bhutto, Bhutto. Try to be more of a listener than being a talker. Can you do that? Just listen to people, whatever they want to say, and only say what you really have to say.
I think one difficulty with that is in my country, it's at least, or in my culture, it might be considered rude if one only spoke what was strictly necessary, and I don't want to offend people.
I don't know if that offend people or not. If you just reply to what they ask you, I don't know. I'm not sure why do you consider it rude to have to speak all the time. Maybe some people don't even want to listen to you.
It's not a matter of speaking all the time. It's just a matter of maybe making a few comments about the weather or something to smooth the, to grease the social wheels.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Just something to make things seem a little bit normal. Yes. How's the weather today and so forth. But you don't want to go deep into politics or the economy and anything like that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. An additional thing I would like to ask is, I don't necessarily trust my future self to act in skillful ways. So for example, if I am to be reborn, I don't necessarily trust that person will follow the Buddha's path. Is there anything I can do to incline my mind towards the Buddha's teaching to guarantee that in all of my future lives, I will not only come across the Buddha's teaching, but I will take it seriously? What I've been doing at the moment is, after I do a meditation session or after I do a metta session, I will dedicate the merit of that to ensuring that if I'm to be reborn, that I always come across the Buddha's teachings. Is that enough, or is there anything else I could be doing?
Well, to be able to do this, you have to attain to the first level of enlightenment. You have to become a Sotapanna.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything that you have within your mind will remain with you. But if you're not yet a Sotapanna, everything that you have today in your mind can be gone in your next life, except only those things that are habitual. Whatever you do and it becomes a habit, this will go with you. But if it's not a habit, then it will not go with you.
Okay. So if I make it a habit to think, only about the Dhamma and only about my practice, is there a reasonable chance that if I have to be reborn, I would be reborn under circumstances where I would encounter the Dhamma? Is that correct?
You don't need to encounter the Dhamma because you're taking the Dhamma with you right now.
Okay.
You can take the Dhamma with you, so you don't have to wait for when you're reborn and wait for a new Dhamma to teach you. If you are Sotapanna, you will have installed the Four Noble Truths in your mind.
I see. What about if I don't quite reach the Sotapanna?
Then the Four Noble Truths can disappear. It's because it's only a memory to you right now. It's not real. But if you become a Sotapanna, you actually you'll see the real Four Noble Truths in your mind. And this will go with you permanently.
I see. One final thing I would like to ask, please, is how much metta is appropriate. So currently I do between about 30 and 60 minutes a day, and I'm not sure if that's too much. I find it to be the most fruitful of all of my meditation practices at the moment, but I've heard at least maybe one or two monks will wish well-being for all beings before they get up and then before they go to bed. But to me, that doesn't seem enough. I feel like I should be doing more than that. How much is an appropriate amount of metta practice to do, please?
Well, you have to understand metta practice is practiced in two different modes, two different. You can use metta as an object or subject of your meditation practice.
Okay.
But then you have to apply metta in your real life. Metta means being kind and nice to people. So this you have to do every time when you run into people or animals. You have to be kind and nice, be loving and kind to everybody. This you do all the time whenever you are in contact with people or living beings. So there are two different type of practices regarding metta. You can use metta like an object of meditation, like using the breath. Instead of using the breath, you use metta.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
that's
for meditation.
Yes.
But also, the Buddha also, you have to be loving and kind when you are meeting people, when you're involved with people.
Yes, yes. And how much, so when I asked that question, I was referring to the metta meditation. How much is an appropriate amount of time to spend on that, and how much is too much?
All day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep.
Okay. But obviously if I don't think I can do that and Buddha and notice my body. That seems to be too many things to focus on.
No, you don't do them all at the same time. You can change. You can change.
I see.
Depending on the situation, which is better for you, which one to use. It's in driving an automobile, where you use manual gear, you have to keep changing your gear depending on the speed of your car running, right?
Okay.
So in your life, in your daily life, you might have different situations in which you find that this type of meditation is not better than this other type. So you have to switch gear.
I see.
Sometimes you use Buddha, sometimes you watch your body, sometimes you use metta. So it depends on which one you find good for you, beneficial for you at that time, at that particular time. But they are all methods of mindfulness to maintain your mind in the present, not to let your mind go thinking about the past or the future or other thing or anything. So the goal is to stop your mind from thinking, from roaming around, to be here and now. Just to be merely observing or knowing. And don't think about anything, only unless you have to think, then think, yes. But if you don't have to think, then stop thinking. Is this clear enough?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Have you heard of cheetahs? Amaravati, I think in London, I think somewhere nearby.
Sorry, could you say that again, please?
Amaravati or something like that.
Oh,
Monastery.
yes, I've heard of
Ajahn
that.
Sumedho and Ajahn Chah's tradition. You been there?
I haven't been there, no. One of my friends has told me about it, though.
Mm-hmm. There are several monasteries, I think, run by the Ajahn Chah's tradition, which you can go and maybe have temporary retreat, 5 days, 7 days or something.
I see. Am I allowed to have temporary retreat even if I don't meet the conditions to become a monk?
Yes, you can have. They have temporary retreat for lay people.
Sorry, it could be because a person is not allowed to be in debt to ordain, right? And I have student debt. So would I still be able to take temporary?
Yes. As long as you're not ordained as a monk, you can go to monastery and practice. So, depending on if the monastery have room for you to practice or not.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
You can stay in a monastery for years as a layman and practice if you like. If you find that you cannot pay up, if you don't meet the condition for becoming a monk yet. Actually, I think Ajahn Chah's tradition requires that you become a white rober for 2 years before they allow you to become a monk.
I see. Okay. Sorry, what is a white rober?
8 preceptors.
Oh, I
But
see.
live in the monastery and practice like the monk do. Eat maybe once a day like the monk do. Do meditation, do chanting, and working together with the monk. And it chores that happen to be there to do.
I see.
So you're more or less like a temporary monk, really. Not yet ordained, but you're actually practicing the way the monks do.
I see. But surely that would just be postponing the fact that I still have to pay off my student debts, right?
Yes, I mean, when you have spare time from your work, like
Okay.
if you have a holiday or a few days off, then you want to go and live in a monastery, then you can go.
I see. I see.
Rather than living in your own house where you don't have the right environment for your practice.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I hope you pay your debt soon, get rid of your debt soon.
Thank you.
Maybe some generous people might, after hearing this meeting, might offer a hand. I don't know. Okay. Good luck to you. Next, Tommy. Tommy, where are you from?
Australia.
Yes, what can I help you?
I wanted to ask, what's the correct way to practice Asubha to reduce sexual desire?
You can look at the 32 parts of the body. Maybe look in an anatomy book, which show the pictures of the various organs inside the body. Study this first and then try to commit it into memory, into your mind. So whenever you have sexual desire, then think of this.
Is it better?
Pardon me?
Sorry, no, you go, you go.
Go ahead.
Is it better to look at your own body or other people's bodies?
Everybody is the same body, especially those attractive body to you. Those bodies that you find attractive, you find that you want to have any sexual intercourse with, then you want to look at that body. There's no need to look at your own body because you're not having any sexual attraction toward your own body. It's the other body that you have to look at. But they are the same, whether your body or other people's body. We all have the 32 parts.
And like sometimes when I look at the Asubha book, I feel like repulsed or like it brings up like a strong aversion. Is that correct, or should I just see the body how it is?
It means your mind not ready yet to observe this asubha. You have to practice more meditation to calm your mind down first.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can maybe look at it until you find you have aversion. As soon as you find you have aversion, then you should stop and do some meditation first. And after you finish with your meditation, maybe you can look at it again.
And where do Asubha nimittas come from?
From what you see in the book, and then you commit it into memory. See, then when you need it, you can recall it. It's memory. You want to install this into your memory yourself. And nimittas are what you have installed in your mind. Sometimes they come up by themselves when you meditate. But you don't need them. You only need them. Pardon me?
Sorry, no, you go. You go. Sorry.
I see. You only need a asubha when you have sexual desires. Whenever you have sexual desire come up, then you have to recall these images of the body parts to suppress or to eliminate your sexual desire. But when you are starting, you have to keep looking at it more and more until you can remember them. See. Because if you can remember them, then whenever you want to recall them, you can do it right away.
Yeah. Does the depth of the insight into Asubha correlate to levels of samadhi?
Well, the longer you can look at the asupa, it means the stronger your meditation is. The stronger your equanimity is. Because if you don't have equanimity, your mind will be overpowered by your defilement, and the defilement will try to block you from looking at asupa. This aversion feeling will come up. So it depends on how much meditation you have, how strong your meditation is. The stronger your meditation, the stronger will you be able to suppress your aversion. So prevent your aversion from coming up when you observe the asupa images.
Yeah.
So you need to practice both, really.
Yeah. I have another question. Sometimes in our tradition, you hear the teachers, they talk about the puru.
About what? I'm sorry.
The puru.
River.
No, the puru, like the one who knows.
The one who knows. Pulu, I say, okay. This is the mind, see. The mind has the ability to know. And the mind take possession of the body. The mind is just the user of the body. The mind uses the body as a tool to achieve what it wants to have. Like sexual intercourse, you need to have a body. And it is the puru who tells the body what to do so that it can satisfy the craving of the mind, the puru. But this craving can cause the mind and the puru suffering when you cannot get what you crave for. So you want to protect the mind, save the mind from suffering.
What does it mean to...
Your connection is it's not good. Your sound doesn't come through.
What does it mean to see the puru?
Oh, it means
sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes. When you meditate until your mind becomes calm, enter the fourth jhana, then the puru will then be the dominant thing that you can see, because the thinking disappears when you enter to the fourth jhana. When you have thinking, this thinking will block the puru from the knower, from appearing. The puru will be blocked by the thinker, by the thinking. When you meditate and when you stop the thinking, then you can see the puru, the knower.
So in fourth jhana, is it like the mind experiences it?
Yes, it's a single.
Itself?
The mind becomes a single. Yeah, it experiences itself. It sees itself. See the knower. Because the thinker, that's part of the mind, stop function temporarily. Normally, we see only the thinker, right? What we think, what we do, what we think. But we don't know that there's a knower behind this thinker. It's a knower who knows what the thinker thinks.
So, but this is different to like an attainment.
No, it's just a process of calming the mind, stopping the thinking, the other function of the mind temporarily. That's all, and have peace and happiness, temporarily peace and happiness, but not yet enlightenment. Enlightenment, you have to see the Four Noble Truths.
So, in regards to, we say like Kai Vedana Jittam, like the four Satipatthana.
Yes.
When you see, so when you see the body, do you see feeling as well?
No, you do one at a time. You study the body, see the body as being impermanent. That it can cause you suffering if you become attached to it, and that there is no self in this body. You have to see the three characteristics of existence of the body. Then you can then let go of your attachment to it. Then you go to feeling, the next target. Then after the feeling, you go to the citta. These are the three targets that you have to study to see that they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. and you cannot cling to them or attach to them, because when you do, you can get suffering.
How do you examine feeling?
Like when you sit in meditation and the body become painful, then don't get up, don't move. Keep continue on watching. See whether it is impermanent or permanent. See whether you can control it or not. Tell it to go away or not. And see the
So
dukkha.
this would be like Lungta sitting all night
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
That's right. And deal with the feeling, the painful feeling, by using wisdom to accept the painful feeling and not to try to control or change it, because you cannot. Try to let go of it. Let the mind go. Leave the painful feeling alone.
So that would be like they use the phrase going through the body, like sitting through the body. When you go through feeling with wisdom.
I only heard part of your question. Can you repeat it again? Because your voice came on and off.
So that would be like I heard the phrase going through the body. Is that what that means?
Well, see, the painful feeling come from the body. So there are two different objects that you have to study: the body itself and the painful feeling that come from the body. So you want to study the nature of the body, you have to see that the body is constantly changing from birth to aging, sickness, and death. And this is a process that you cannot stop or prevent. If you try to interfere, you can get dukkha or suffering. If you don't want to get any dukkha or suffering, you just have to leave this process alone. Same way with the pain, same way with feeling. You have three types of feeling, keep changing from one to the other. Sometimes you have painful feeling, sometimes you have pleasant feeling, sometimes you have neutral feeling. This you cannot also interfere. You have to let them come and go as they like. Then you will have no dukkha or suffering. If you try to interfere, then you have suffering. Understand? Where do you start? Where do you study the Thai from?
I stay with some teachers in Thailand.
I see.
Yeah.
For long? How long did you stay?
On and off a couple of years.
I see.
Yeah.
Teachers in the north or in the northeast?
Around Isan.
Isan, northeast. Okay.
The last teacher I stayed with was Lungpo Bunma.
Bunma. Okay.
Lungpo Kao Senior Luksit.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You still follow his teaching, the teaching?
Yeah. I see it on Facebook.
Okay. Okay, thank you for coming in. Hope this will help clarify some of your questions.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Next, in 10 from Indonesia. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, it's Kokseng first. I'm sorry. Kokseng, your turn.
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn. No questions at the moment.
Okay, in 10 from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes.
Ajahn, I have one question. How to teach a little girl? Now she is still 3 years, almost going to 4. Since 2 years, she can create a life story. Until now, have a habit like make a life story. So how to teach to be a good attitude?
To be a good teacher or to be a
No,
good
to be a good girl,
uh,
don't be
teach
like.
teach her the precepts and the loving kindness. Teach her to have
Mhm.
loving kindness
Mhm.
and tell her to keep the precept. Don't hurt other beings. Don't kill. Don't steal. Don't cheat. Don't lie.
Mhm.
That's all you have to do. Teach
Mhm.
the basic the basic skill of being a human being is to have to keep the precept and to have loving kindness toward all beings.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Rajan.
you're welcome. Next, Adam Wang. Hi, where are you from?
Hey, Ajahn. Yeah, just with regards to something I was gonna ask, it's probably best to don't ask it publicly. It's probably too heavy or too personal, perhaps, to really bring up among a big group. Perhaps I'll just leave it.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you can submit your question in writing and then doesn't have to review
Yeah.
yourself and then just ask the question and
Okay.
ask the person who read the question not to reveal your name. It's anonymous or something. Okay.
Yeah. I'll message the Adam. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Diana from Toronto or nearby. You finally managed to get in the room this time.
Now, Budaya Ajahn Suchart. Yes. I've been sick actually for 3 weeks also. So maybe it was a good thing because I couldn't stop coughing.
You're well now?
Yes. And
Okay.
and during that time, I really watched how my mind was just attached to all these symptoms that I was having, and the mind wasn't liking it at all. So that was very interesting to see because even I was acknowledging it. I couldn't change it much. Like the mind was just stuck to not liking it.
Yes, you have to meditate until it becomes still. Then this light will disappear temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it will not disappear. Even if you tell it to disappear, it won't go away. Only when you meditate and make the mind become still, then this light will disappear.
So the mindfulness is making it.
That's right. We need mindfulness to still the mind with. Wisdom cannot do anything to it because it just doesn't believe in wisdom yet.
Yes, and that's what I saw. I saw that the symptoms were changing, and even though the mind was understanding that it was changing, it was still stuck to it like a gum.
That's right. That's because of the old habits. The defilement wants to change, want to get rid of the bad feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to do it is to calm the mind with mindfulness. Watch the breath and recite the Bhutto, Bhutto, mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, until the mind becomes still.
Mm-hmm.
Then your mind will become peaceful, even though the painfulness of the body still remain. It will not affect the body. It will not affect the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes, somehow I couldn't quite manage to practice.
Meditate.
Yeah,
meditate.
I couldn't. So I decided to surrender to the process, believing that that's like, I guess, thinking that at some point the symptoms were going to release, and they did. It was just such a long time. Yes. Yes. So I I have had some questions over the last 2 weeks. I've written it out, so is it okay to ask now?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So maybe one of them was kind of addressed now, was like how to remain balanced and happy when a lot of aversion rises and there's no chance to practice mindfulness.
You can always practice mindfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto.
Mm-hmm. I've also added when I'm engaged in some activity, and in that moment I know that I'm experiencing like reaction, aversion to something, and I'm aware that I'm not mindful, and
When
I
you
still.
come back to mindfulness, come back to the mantra when you're not mindful. When you know you're not mindful, and you bring the mind back to the mantra.
Mm-hmm. So that means I need to stop the activity that I'm doing or suspend it somehow until I regain my mindfulness, and then perhaps go back and address the situation. Is that kind of?
It depends on what you can do or what you want to do. If you want to continue on with your activities, then you might not be able to practice the mantra. Then you have to accept the consequence of that action.
Yes, well, the consequences was just more and more tension.
Then maybe you want to excuse yourself and go find a place to calm your mind down first. Go to the toilet. Then you have to go to the toilet. That's where you can find refuge for your mind. Once you're in the toilet, then nobody disturbs you.
Mm-hmm. Like excuse myself and then regroup, return. Okay. Okay. And then the second one was how exactly the mind and body related and dependent on each other. Like some philosophies say that to be spiritually aligned, meaning on the way to enlightenment, one's body must be balanced and healthy. Please share how the Buddha's teaching applied to that understanding, like how the Buddhists teach on this matter to apply the Dhamma.
Oh, you have to keep the body healthy and strong, not sick, in order to be able to practice the Dhamma teaching fully.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to maintain the body with the four basic requisites of life: food, clothing, shelter, and medicine when you get sick. But you don't have to do it in such a elaborate or luxury way. You can do it the simple way, like the Buddha teach the monk. Just eat once a day and use rag for clothing, and for shelter, just stay in the forest under a tree or in a cave. And medicine, just drink from your urine.
Oh, was there teaching like that?
Yeah, that's what the Buddha teach the monks to do. The four living requisites of monks is to go on collecting alms round in the morning, and to use rag as material to make rope with, and stay in the forest. Maybe make a temporary makeshift shack, or find a cave or somewhere where you can stay. Give your body from the sun and rain.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get sick, use the urine. Bring your own urine.
Yes, I've actually heard it in the ancient one of the old traditional Russian medicines. I'm not sure if it's Russian, but from the Russian people, I heard of that.
I think still in India, still some people still use urine as their medicine when they feel sick.
Okay.
So you want to do this, so you don't want to burden the mind with too much work for maintaining the body.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will have the ability to spend more time looking after your mind by practicing mindfulness and wisdom meditation.
Yeah, because during this time of sickness, I just felt like I just kept on getting different medicines, and they were helping with the symptoms, but they weren't completely taking them away. And then I thought, well, like can I manage without the medicine at some point? And then things got like too much. Like I wasn't getting enough sleep to recover because I just kept coughing all night. And then this one of the Jataka's tales that I watched with my daughter, the Buddha came and took care of some physical discomforts of one monk, and then the monk could become enlightened. So I don't know if you know that story. And I guess I was just wondering if in that case, I guess the idea is that the monk was too overwhelmed by some really gross physical aversions. So then he couldn't quite maintain the mindfulness, possibly.
Well, if we cannot understand the nature, just take the story at face value. Okay, don't try to digest it. Just leave it alone.
Okay. So those were the two questions that accumulated, and I guess personally, I'm still working on the mindfulness piece.
Yes, mindfulness is to take care of your mind, and the medicine is to take care of your body. So you have to use both when you're sick, not just the medicine for the body only. You have to use mindfulness and wisdom to take care of your mind also, which also gets sick when the body gets sick.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes, for today.
Okay. Hope to see you again next time.
Yeah, I hope so.
When you have question, okay?
Thank you.
Next, Melinda from Singapore. You have to unmute your microphone. Not yet. Okay.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yeah, I'm listening and a lot of teachings and I can apply.
Okay, good. I'll go to Sweden, check then, from Vancouver.
Greetings, Tan Ajahn.
After all these years, have you advanced in your path yet? Or you still remain in the same place? Is there anything to show from your practice? Or not practicing at all?
So embarrassed.
Don't be shy.
So embarrassed.
You must have gained something, or else you won't be coming here every week.
Well, I was just reflecting about what you were saying early on, like about like just one piece of advice from you, like really helped me so much. Like I know that it seems like it's like for example you can't change apple to orange or like just I know it's simple
It's
piece of
simple, but we don't look things like that, right? We look at people as people.
I never think like that before and until I met you, and then like even though it's sounds simple, but it's very profound to me. Like it really helps me a lot, like in my life and in dealing with people and being really happy, like and being able to be okay with like oh like the apple and then I'm orange is okay, right? So it really helps a lot that your wisdom really helps me a lot. But yeah, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed about my practice.
Why embarrassed? You're actually practicing.
No, I mean like I'm embarrassed that maybe I don't yeah, and I don't go to retreat or I don't but
But that doesn't mean you're not practicing either. If you apply the teaching, and can get rid of some of your anxiety and worry, then you are practicing already.
Yeah, it actually really helps me a lot. Because even and for example, you the 5 precept, this for example, five precept. I knew about 5 precept and I was practicing, but I don't think I was as serious. But until I met you, that because when I was before I met you, the 5 precept, for example, like other teaching that I heard is like you can kill mosquito because they are okay, that they're just small, and it's okay to kill the insect because they are not significant. So you can break a little bit, it's okay. Or you can drink a little bit of alcohol, it's okay, because you're not really like you're just breaking a little bit, it's okay. But until I met you, it's like, oh no, you take it so seriously. And then I start to I have to take it very seriously. I cannot just kill insect, like, and this thing that is okay because they are so insignificant. But
Yeah,
after
but where are you gonna draw the line later on? Then you can move on to a bigger animal and bigger, and eventually to human being.
yeah, it's true. I
So
never
you have
thought.
to draw the line somewhere, and the line is not to kill at all.
Yeah, but yeah, honestly, I wasn't that serious. I thought that I don't kill human or big animal, that's good enough. But um after meeting Ajahn, I take it very seriously. Like I take the 5 precept seriously, and I make sure, yeah, that I don't kill like any beings.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, your teaching, like lots of teachings, but just giving you some examples that really changed how I look at the world, and how it really helps me be a happy person. Yeah, I think, yeah, happy most of the
Okay,
time.
it means you're advancing then. You're progressing.
Yeah, being very much.
The goal is to get rid of suffering
Yeah.
and develop happiness.
Yeah.
If you're happy, then you're on the right track.
Yeah, also you talk about like, oh, everything is like a weather, so, yeah, it really helps me, because when things change, I say, yeah, it's like a weather, it's okay, like and when
What can
body
you do? What can you do if they change, right?
But I don't know, before when I didn't hear your Dhamma, it's different. Like I didn't think that way. I didn't have that wisdom to think that way. But when I hear it, then it starts to, yeah. I think differently now.
Yes. Everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta.
When you speak, it sounds simple, but it's very profound. It really affects me so
It
much.
covers everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just really profound, and really helps my life so much if you truly listen. Yeah.
This is the most profound teaching of the Buddha, is the 3 characteristics of existence and the 4 noble truths. Nobody in this world knows this except the Buddha himself.
And you
Without
give
the
a
Buddha, we would not be able to see the world like this.
yeah, it's true. And you made it simple for me to understand. You give a lot of analogy, so I always, yeah, I always think about the weather, and I'm always thinking about, oh, I'm gonna get old, get sick, and die. It really helps me a lot, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. This is the homework you have to do to prepare for your examination. One day, this examination will come to you. Are you ready to get sick? Are you ready to die? You'll find out whether you'll pass the examination or not when that time comes. If you fail, then you get dukkha. If you fail, you get dukkha.
I feel, I feel so embarrassed that, I listened so long, and then
Yeah.
if
So you must not be complacent. You must keep asking yourself every day, am I ready to get sick? Am I ready to die? If I'm not yet, then there's a lot of work to do.
yeah.
You need to build up equanimity in your mind. You have the wisdom already. You know this is gonna happen, but you don't have the tool to face this situation, which is equanimity. So you have to do a lot of mindfulness and meditation to get to jhana. Once you get to jhana, then everything falls into place.
That's the key. Yeah.
Yes, we have the wisdom already, but we don't have the jhana, which is different from the Buddha. The Buddha had the jhana, but he didn't have the wisdom. So he had to develop the wisdom himself. Once he had the wisdom, he tell the people who have jhana, as soon as he just tell them that, they become enlightened right away. But if he tells the wisdom to people without jhana, they cannot become enlightened. Like us, we have wisdom of the Buddha every week. We study, we listen to the Four Noble Truths, the three characteristics of existence. But we don't have jhana to accommodate this truth, this wisdom into the mind, incorporate this truth into the mind. The defilement keep blocking. The defilement don't want the three characteristics, don't want the Four Noble Truths. The defilement want only sensual pleasures. Okay, I have to move on now. I'm almost running out of time. Sri, you have anything?
No, what drawn me to you is initially is Satipatthana. I remember I talked to Czech, it's like, about when we read about this sutta, we don't know how to
No clue what it's talking
how
about.
to get into Satipatthana. But I think like we still have dukkha, Buddha mentioned it quite clear here in the sutta, right? I told Czech. I remember that, and then somehow or other Czech just go online and search. Then we found your website, and then that's the whole beginning.
Yes.
For me, yeah.
The Satipatthana Sutta is only the theory. See? You have to put into the practice. You have to practice mindfulness, practice anapanasati to get to jhana. Once you get to jhana, then you can then study the nature of the body, a sukha, the 32 parts, the 4 elements. Then when you see the truth of the body, then you can let go of your attachment to the body. Okay, if you don't practice, you don't know which comes first or what are you trying to do.
That's exactly what we are trying to do. Like what
Confused. Yeah.
Something.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
then
Good
thanks
to
to
hear
you.
that. Happy to be of service to you.
Yes, thank you, Dad.
Okay, next, Dr. Piao and Indira from Toronto.
Good morning.
Good morning from
From
Toronto, Ajahn. Always so nice to see you. And also, just like Sui and Chek said, for us, meeting you, listening to you, and learning from you has been the game changer in our lives. Yes.
I agree, 100%.
100%, yes. So, Teruan Saranai, and so much gratitude.
Yeah.
Katang Yuta, like Buddha said.
Yes, good.
Kutavedi, Katangita.
To do this, you have to practice.
Yes, we do.
Patibat Bucha, Patibat Bucha, Patibati Bucha.
Not Amisa.
Yes. Do Amisa too, because Amisa carries you to do the Pratipatti.
Yes, that's right. But you have to do the Amista Bucha.
Yeah.
Support Buddhism in any way you can.
Yes, always Tanajan.
Yeah.
Tanajan, I have a question. Now, when you say Saddha, Sila, Sati, Samadhi, Prajna, so Samadhi, Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Prajna. So like at Samadhi and Prajna, Samadhi, in that context, it's jhana, right? You get into 4th jhana and then have the equanimity and then the prajna, then the last one. So because why I'm asking is now, like some of the sutras and some monks also, they say some amount of samadhi is enough, like 1st jhana is enough. But to me, I feel that you have to have the 4th jhana and to be in the equanimous state to get into vidarshana, prajna?
That's right, because without equanimity, you cannot suppress the craving for defilement.
Exactly. Yes, yes. Okay.
Because with equanimity comes contentment. See?
Yes.
When you're content, then you don't need to have anything.
Yes.
No desire can come up, no cravings can come up when you have contentment.
Yes.
But when you have dissatisfaction, then that's when craving comes up.
Yes.
So you have to make the mind content, get rid of the dissatisfaction by entering into the fourth jhana.
Yes.
Then when it has contentment, then it can then resist the invitation of the cravings of the defilement.
Yes.
When you see something you used to crave for, but when you have contentment, you have equanimity, you can just remain unresponsive to the invitation.
Yes, I understand. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay.
I agree. The sutra text always talks about the fourth jhana, 1, 2, 3, 4. But there are rare exceptions. I guess 90% of the time I see all 4 jhanas. But there are a couple of sutras talking about the first jhana. One who is very sharp with insight gets into the first jhana. He look at the jhana 2 as impermanence and let go, like arising and passing away. So therefore they can enter to the path. But that's the exception. But I guess for us, I think best is to go through the all 4 jhanas. I think I agree with Indy.
Okay, you have to prove it to yourself, but
Yes,
the practice.
that's right. No, I'm trying. I'll let you know when I'll confess.
The Buddha said the Dhamma teaching is sanditiko.
Sanditiko. Ehipasiko. Apply to yourself. Open eye.
Pachatang vedi tabbo. It's only for the wise. It's only for the wise to appreciate this.
Oh, I'm in trouble there. One question, I think you made a nice statement. I think one of the questions, the knower who knows, the thinker who thinks. So the knower is the knowing element. So it's like say taking a metaphor. It's not in real, but if you project on a screen, the activity, the of the nama rupa nama.
Namakandas.
Namaskandhas is like the
picture on the screen. The picture on the screen.
Yes.
When you turn off the picture, then all you have left is the screen.
So if you have the projector, the screen's still there. Screen's not going away. That's the knower, the one who knows the mind.
That's right. It's always there, but it's blocked. It's not apparent because of the other images on the screen.
Yeah. So you can also think as an element, because I asked this from Bhikkhu Bodhi, who was here actually for a retreat. We were there full day in Toronto. Yeah. Anyway, so the mind also described in Sutra text as an element. Like after the 4 elements, the major ones, and then there's a space and consciousness.
The knowing element.
Yeah. So knowing element, I mean, so the rupa, the solid or liquid, they don't react. They're just there. These are the basic elements. So the mind, in other words, just chitta or the knowing element too, exactly
just connect to the 4 elements by the function of the vinyana, the connector.
Yeah, connector. Yeah. So the 4 elements taken away, mind has nowhere to project. It's in the
It has to come back, and it has to look for a new screen.
Yes.
Project a new body.
Right. Yeah, it's Buddha's time. Maybe there was no projector, but he says about a sun shining on a wall from the south side.
This projector, the sun is a projector.
Yeah.
And the wall is a screen.
Yes, that's right. And other one is, I think this is a comment on one. I think Alex Turpin. He was. I think the today's session was amazing. Like there were lots of good questions and excellent responses from you. I think amazing session today. So the question was like, even like we want to practice Dhamma. You said this has to be a Sotapanna. Even if I die today, what are my chances of guarantee whether I can listen to Dhamma or hear Dhamma again? So there is a sutra in Anguttara Nikaya, if anybody wants to look up, 4.191, and talks about even if you die unmindfully, for example, sudden car accident or whatever, but if you practice the Dhamma this way, it's I think this describing the Sotapanna. They hear the Dhamma contemplate the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma. In other words, like a Sotapanna. And so even if you die this way, you have another chance of listening. Your memory will come back. He said, or somebody will come and teach you Dhamma, or your friend might be born there who is practicing Dhamma together and might teach you Dhamma. Like that, there are 4 instances. So I agree what you said. That I think it is the sutra is describing a fourth Sotapanna person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Alright.
one question about this thing called Animitta Samadhi. You are not attended to any signs. The Nimitta, I think, came up in the discussion as well. Nimitta is a sign. So Animitta is it immediately after the equanimity? Because the equanimity
Yes.
is there's no nimitta, it's gone.
As soon as you enter the 4th jhana, then everything disappears.
Yes, but Animitta comes as soon as you're coming out of the 4th jhana, so nimitta starts appearing. So you can go to Animitta. Can you go to Animitta Samadhi at that stage? And that will lead to Shunyata Samadhi. So are they approximate? They are close to the equanimity stage.
Well, nimittas are something that you cannot control. They are anicca, anatta. So sometimes you have them, sometimes you don't have them.
So it is your asravas causing this nimitta to come up, your defilements, kilesas.
It's your mental formation, your
Formations.
mental,
Sankara.
Yeah, your sankara producing these nimittas.
Nimittas.
As long as the sankara is working, it's possible for nimittas to arise.
So in other words, Sabba Sankara Samato is the definition of Nibbana. Buddha talks, all the Sankaras are pretty much wiped out. There is no Sankaras coming up, because there's no craving. And that's equivalent to Nibbana.
Well, no, you have sankara that has craving and sankara that has no craving.
Okay.
The Buddha still use sankara without the cravings of teaching.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to you now, I have to use a sankara.
Sankara, yes.
But this sankara has no defilement. See. It's only about the Dhamma we're talking about.
There's the 3 sankaras.
Not talking about money, how to make more money.
Yeah. So Punyabhi Sankara, Apunyabhi Sankara, Ananjibhi Sankara. There are 3 types of Sankara, I think.
Yeah.
So right now is Punyabhi, like it's a good thing, good Kusal Sankara.
Yes.
Yes.
Skillful, kusala.
Skillful, kusala. That's right.
Kusala Dhamma.
Yeah. And
Okay.
just, yeah, I think we'll go. I think there's time is coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I have to see
And you
whether we
take
have.
care.
Okay, nice talking to you.
Nice talking
You
to you.
too. Teruan Saranai.
Let me see who's next now. I think that's all the people in the room. So we'll go to Kunju for more questions, please.
กราบนมัสการพระอาจารย์ค่ะ We have 8 questions this evening, and the first 2 questions are from the assistant Gmail. The first question is from Jacek from Poland. Question 1. I live in Poland, but 9 years ago I left for Thailand to become a monk. I spent almost 9 months in the monastery, 6 of which as a fully ordained monk. After that time, I had to return to Poland because my sister was going to the UK for a while and my mother required care at that time. My sister's temporary stay abroad turned into a permanent stay, and I became a sole carer of my mother. Every day I think about returning to the monastery, but I am also aware of the passing of time and the fact that I may be too old to return to don the robes of a monk. I will soon be 58. Today I cannot assess my actions. Was returning to Poland a good decision? Is the path of a monk the most important one? What should I focus on right now?
Well, sometimes the best path for you is not possible because of your karma. And your karma is that you have to look after your mother. So you should looking at your mother after your mother as the level of practice that you're allowed to do by your karma. So this is dana, taking care of your mother, paying back the debt that you owe her. So just do what you have to do now. And then when maybe a few years time, maybe when she passed away, then you will be free to become a monk again. Like the Venerable Ananda, he has to serve the Buddha for 25 years, I think. And all this time, he didn't have the time to practice at all, even though he was a monk. But he didn't have the time to go into seclusion to do more intensive practice. But after the Buddha died, then he was free to have the time to go into an intensive practice. And it only took him 3 months to become enlightened. So don't worry about your situation. Try to make use of the best use of your situation. But try to practice the Dhamma that you can practice while you're looking after your mother. And when your responsibility for her is over, then you will be ready to go into more intensive practice.
The next question is from Yeti. Long time ago, I experienced jhana in one of the 10-day retreat. Is my jhana absorption the cause for my children to feel exhausted, so I have to stop my meditation practice, or is this my defilement?
Usually your defilement, because your attachment to your children is also a form of defilement. See? The Buddha said your children are like bondages. They're like something that will tie you to them forever. That's why the Buddha left the palace the night when he heard about his wife giving birth to his son. And he didn't want to even to go look at his son because he knew he would be so attached to the baby that he would not be able to leave the palace. So he had decided to leave the palace that night after he heard the news that his wife gave birth to a son. He named the son Rahula. He didn't name the son Rahula. He just said Rahula, which means bond or bondage. And then they took that to be his naming of the son. So the son got the name Rahula.
The next 3 questions are from Mini Pool. Dear Ajahn, could Ajahn please explain what is Sankhara is the condition for consciousness and consciousness is the condition for Nama Rupa? Thank you so much.
Well, see, Sankhara is thinking. When you think about food, so you have to go after food. And in order for you to go after food, you have to connect to the body. So you use Vijnana to connect to the body. Once you have a body, then you can then use the body to go look for food.
The next question, if Chitta is permanent, how is the process of rebirth take place?
Well, the birth take place is like replacing an automobile with a new automobile, that's all. The same driver, but it's a different car. The old car breaks down, you cannot drive it anymore. So you go to a shop and buy a new car. Same way with the mind, that when the old body died, the mind then go look for a new body.
The next question.
Go shop for a new body.
The next question, if someone has done a bad karma, will this karma affect him to be a bad person when it ripens? Thank you.
It depends on how much bad karma you do. If small bad karma, it will make you a small bad person. If it was a large bad karma, then it makes you a large bad person. It depends on the level of bad karma that you do.
The next 2 questions are from Polling Soon. Is the job of meditation to suppress the 5 aggregates in our mind? Can Ajahn please clarify?
No, meditation is not to suppress the 5 aggregates. It's only to stop it temporarily so that the mind can have some peace and contentment. So that the mind can then have the strength to practice wisdom to get rid of the defilement, which are the one that use the 5 khandha as a tool to satisfy its craving, which in turn causing suffering to the mind whenever the craving arises. So the goal is to first to stop the 5 khandha temporarily, to give the mind peace and contentment and the strength to be able to develop wisdom to eliminate the defilement.
The next question from Polling Soon is, I used to practice formal sitting maybe 1 hour or less. Then the mind wants to wake up, but I continue with walking, then sit again. This kind of accumulated time practice, is it all right?
Yes, you have to do it all the time, all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep.
The next question is from Sulan. Dear Ajahn, thank you for spending time with us. I wanted to ask, is it harder to train ourselves as we grow older because our habitual tendencies and attachments become more fixed as we age?
Like the saying, it's harder to treat an old dog a new trick.
And the second part to that question is, how do we loosen our grip to the attachment if we cannot forget and reset our memories or habits? Thank you.
You have to go live with people with new habits, like go and live in a monastery, live with a good teacher. Like if there's a Buddha, go live with the Buddha, and the Buddha will then give you the new tricks, show you the new tricks. Is
And
that all?
we have one last question from YouTube, and it's from Sushi. Does one need to attain jhana to practice equanimity? Can one practice equanimity in day to day through the Brahma Vihara?
Well, the equanimity without jhana is not real equanimity, it's forced equanimity. And it's hard to force it. You might be able to do it from some time briefly, maybe, but you cannot do it naturally. So you need the jhana to have the natural equanimity installed in your mind.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is beneficial to you and can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, keep on being mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Ajahn.
Goodbye, admin. Goodbye.